Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, and welcome to Knowledge Talks, a weekly entertainment program aired live specifically to share with you topics that contribute knowledge to the society. News, interviews with guests, tips, question and answer session, and yes, knowledge topics will be shared with you throughout the program, of course if time permits during the hour. And yes, every week this will alternate. Some week we have news, some we've got interviews, some we have tips, question and answer session, and objectively will be, ladies and gentlemen, knowledge will be shared. This program, ladies and gentlemen, is a weekly session that I will have with you every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. I'm your host Tariq Al-Barwani, along with our studio engineer Safiya, for an hour bringing you free knowledge at your doorstep on Oman FM 90.4. Stay tuned after the music break for today's knowledge topic. Welcome back to Knowledge Talk, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host Tariq Al-Barwani, along with our studio engineer Safiya, with you here live today on Oman FM 90.4. Our topic today, ladies and gentlemen, is about the trends and future of mobile technology. What are the trends and where is the future heading as far as mobile technology is concerned? Indeed, this is our program today, and I hope before end of the program we'll be able to feature and share with you much of the mobile trends and the future as far as mobile technology is concerned. Our guest today, ladies and gentlemen, is Engineer Muhammad Farooq, the honorary senior editor of Expert Technology Review magazine and its Middle East arm, IT Insight Middle East. Engineer Muhammad holds a bachelor in electrical engineering and an MBA from USA, and Engineer Muhammad also has over 20 years of experience in telecom and IT. Now, what I personally like about Engineer Muhammad is that he keeps a close eye on emerging technologies, industry trends, and their impact on society. And today, Engineer Muhammad is with us here on Oman FM 90.4 to share with us his knowledge on the latest trends and the future of mobile technology as well. Engineer Muhammad, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Tariq.
How are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah, it's a pleasure to be here on your show again.
The pleasure is mine. In fact, what I like, Engineer Muhammad, is whenever I catch up with you, when I see you in a number of, whenever I see you in the outings, I enjoy sitting with you because the wealth of knowledge that you have is, mashallah, speaks volume, and I enjoy learning a lot from you. In fact, now we are hosting you again is because I know technology and telecommunication goes hand in hand, and it's big, cannot be shared in just 1 hour.
Right.
And we will be having these sessions every now and then for us to learn from you, Engineer Muhammad. I think before we start our session today, it would be nice if we just recap what we have discussed in the previous weeks as far as the future of mobile and the trends that this arena is holding.
Okay. Well, like I said in the previous episode, mobile can be looked at from lots of different angles. When we talk about trends in mobile, it could be, for example, mobile as a device, mobile as a network, mobile as a remote control to your life, mobile in terms of apps. Okay. However, what we really focused on that you don't get to hear a lot in the industry is mobile as the mass media.
Mm-hmm.
And what we did was we looked at it from a different perspective. The 7 mass medias that we discussed in the last show. Mm-hmm. The first one was print, obviously, followed by recording, and this introduced sound. Then there was cinema, followed by radio, TV, mm-hmm. internet, and now finally mobile. Okay. That's where we stopped on the 7th mass media. And the beauty of mobile is that it can replicate all the legacy media, and it has 7 unique benefits. We discussed those in detail. I'll just go over them real quick. First one being it's the first personal mass media. Second, it's permanently carried media. Third, it's an always-on mass media. Fourth one is it's the only mass media with a built-in payment mechanism. Fifth one, it's the media available at the point of creative inspiration. Next one is, the sixth one is it's the only media with accurate audience measurement. And the seventh unique benefit is it captures the social context of media consumption. And finally, I left the audience to find out what is the eighth mass media.
Interesting.
Which I don't know if anybody figured out or not, is called augmented reality.
Augmented reality.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. That's the eighth media,
Yeah.
isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, the number to call in is 24602058. I'll repeat again. That's 24602058. If you have any questions related to mobile technologies and the future this arena is taking, please call us on air here, and Engineer Muhammad will be very, very pleased to respond to the questions and any clarifications you have. Engineer Muhammad, I've got a question to start with.
Sure.
SMS, MMS, and XMS. XMS meaning your extensible markup, your extensible messaging system. Are these, as far as mobile technologies concerned, goners, or are they still being used? And what do you see the future of these technologies?
Very nice question. Something we hear a lot. SMS has proven itself. It's a very old and mature technology. It's the, if you want to call it, the first and simplest way of communication after email. MMS had its ups and downs. It wasn't as easy as SMS, let's put it this way. And it wasn't utilized properly, for example, especially in terms of marketing and branding, even though it's a good medium for transmitting a short, colorful, animated, live message. So, and especially if you look at OTTs, and we'll get into them in a little bit later in the show.
OTT meaning over
the top players, yeah.
Okay.
They basically started from the same concept, texting. In a little bit of a different domain.
Okay.
But the idea is the similar one. Then they added these other add-ons later on. So
Okay.
in my opinion, SMS is here to stay. We've got global figures to back that up.
Okay.
And I'm not sure about the MMS, if it'll make a comeback or not, but SMS for sure is here to stay.
I will. Thank you very much for sharing that. I'll just pick up a call right now on air, and then I'll get back to that very interesting point on MMS. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
We have a caller online.
Hello?
Hi, could you please switch off the radio? Because if you have the radio turned on, we will not be able to communicate. So, may I know who's speaking? Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me? Okay.
Hello?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
You can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. How are you?
Yeah, fine. I'm Shankar here.
Shankar, how are you doing today?
Yeah, fine. You are telling about mobiles now. So there are so many mobiles come. How to select which one is the good? I want to know.
You want to know which is a good mobile phone?
Yeah.
It really depends on what you are looking for. But anyway, I will. We have your question.
Many phones are coming now. How to select which one is a good quality and it's not pirated software. I like that.
Excellent. Mr. Shankar, our engineer Muhammad will jot down the question and we will be responding to your question. Thank you very much, Engineer Muhammad. 24602058. Want to take another caller? All right, we've lost that one. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you call on 24602058, ensure two things. You switch off the radio because we will not be able to communicate as it interferes with our call, so we can't be able to listen to what you're saying, and of course you can't be able to listen to what we're saying. We're gonna respond to the question that has been shared right now or asked by Shankar. Engineer Muhammad will share that question, of course.
Right. First of all, if you want to look at the two primary factors in terms of selecting a mobile, first one is the features and second one is your budget. What mobiles are today is something what we had PCs, for example, a decade back, and laptops about, let's say, 5 years back. depends on your requirements and how much horsepower you want, and then you can go for them. In terms of the basics, first one is you have to look at whether you want to go for a feature phone or you want to go for a smartphone, right? And then you have to look at the number of different features that it's offering. If it's an overkill, don't go for it, because each time you turn around, there's new models hitting the market, as well as the price is going down exponentially. And I was going to touch about this topic a little bit down the line. When we look at devices, there are some common denominators we see no matter what the brand is. Number one, they're getting cheaper. For example, you can expect $25 smartphones very soon. This is what the industry is working towards, since the smartphone penetration in the emerging nations is only 3 to 5%. Of course, Oman being different, where everybody carries a very fancy phone. Second thing you will see is the apps are getting bundled with smartphones. Now, this is a gimmick which has been used by different operators in different parts of the world. Now, even the device makers are doing it to boost the sales. The other thing is mobiles are changing their shapes. So very soon you will see wearables getting very common. Right now, the early adapters are buying them, they're playing with them, they're getting used to them. And down the line in future, you will see that the devices will start adopting to us. So it won't be, for example, me buying a phone and then trying to learn how to operate it. As a matter of fact, the phone will learn from me. But coming back to the present, what I would suggest is first you look at what your requirements are. Are you a simple user in terms of voice and SMS, or do you need some heavy processing power? Plus, do you need a device that you can survive on 3G, or must it be LTE or 4G? So again, look at your budget. No need to go to the latest and the greatest just because. You have to look at your requirements and your budget, and then match the phone that will go along with it. And if you go to any of the outlets, the salesmen are more than happy and knowledgeable to educate you before you actually make a decision towards buying a particular unit.
Very good. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and advices on this, Engineer Mohammed. Mr. Shankar, I would just like to add on the points here, is that look at the very good point that has been shared with Engineer Mohammed is, first thing, go back and say, what is the budget? What money do I have in my hands to go and buy a mobile phone? Now, asking generic questions, what mobile phone should I go for? I think the simplest answer would be, what money do you have in your hand, first thing? And secondly, there's two things that you want to look into: a legacy phone or a smartphone. When you say a legacy phone, a phone that is not connected to the internet. A smartphone and a device or a mobile phone that is connected to the internet, which gives you the possibility of accessing apps and so on. As you see, a lot of people are using different applications that are on top of your mobile phones. And of course, there are a number of families that I will call is from your Android. Those are Google. You've got the iOS. Those are your iPhone, and you've got Windows, Microsoft Windows mobile phone. But as Engineer Mohammed has said, budget. So you know what money you have. Secondly is, you want to go legacy phone or you want to go smartphone, meaning a phone that is connected to the internet, so you can make use of the applications. And of course, don't go and pay for top of the range phone, because every day today the phone might be a top of the range, but tomorrow it might be the second in line, because every day is a new day as far as technologies and mobile and technology is concerned. It's moving very, very fast, in fact. Ladies and gentlemen, the number to call in is 2460-2058 if you have any questions related to your mobile technology and the future that this trend has, inshallah. Engineer Mohammed, when we're talking about the MMS,
right.
Do you personally use it?
No.
Yeah, I think it costs about 50 basis or so, whatever the mobile operators are charging for it. And then the maximum size of the data that can be sent over MMS is 50 kilobyte, right?
Pretty much.
Now, if you look at things like WhatsApp and the different applications that are being used by these OTT players, which is over the top, like Viber and so on, you could send even bigger size of a file, video, photos and everything, and you can pay less than that. Is that right?
Right. For the different OTT messengers, basically you need some kind of a connection to the internet, be it Wi-Fi or be it one of these RAN connections like, for example, 3G or 4G.
Okay.
All right. SMS did not evolve properly or in a speedy way. Maybe perhaps because it was doing its job. And the other thing is, in the industry, generally telcos are not known for innovation.
Yeah.
However, it's not a matter of how many besas it is, it's the ease of use with which you can use.
Okay.
And with which you have been educated how to use it. I think this is where MMS failed. However, just to add a couple of points on SMS, you can actually pay taxes in Norway using your SMS, and Spain is the first country which has recognized SMS signatures considered as legally binding on contracts. So SMS is here to stay.
Oh, it's here to stay. We're gonna get back on the SMS is here to stay. We just got a call on air. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, sir.
May I know who's speaking?
Hello?
May I know who's speaking?
Dinesh with you. Dinesh.
Vinesh, how are you doing today?
Dinesh with you.
Vinesh, could you please switch off the radio because I can't hear you? You switched off the radio, I hope.
Hello?
Okay, Vinesh, can you hear me? All right, fine. I don't seem to be able to get it. 24602058. Hello?
I can't hear you.
Okay, Vinesh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just know you.
Okay, excellent. So your question is, Vinesh?
Yeah. Dinesh, I want to know, is there any problem with charging from car charger to mobile? Is there any problem with the device to get it?
Okay, so your question is there any problem to charge your phone inside the car, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Vinesh. Do you have another question?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I'll just, I think I'm going to take the honor of responding to that question probably. I doubt there is any problem as long as you ensure that the cable that you're using to charge your mobile device in your car is not faulty. Okay, because I charge my mobile device and all my electronics inside the car and I have no problem. So unless that is faulty, that would be a problem. And of course, is you overcharge the device. That's my opinion. Nevertheless, I will give it to our engineer Mohammed, to share his feedback about the question.
I second that. It's advisable to buy original accessories considering the high prices of the smartphones that most of us are carrying. So, and most of them, once they are charged, they give you a little beep and an indication that it's time to unplug them. Granted, charging in a vehicle takes longer than, for example, an AC outlet in your house or in your office. But nevertheless, it's a safe medium.
Okay. Now looking, thanks very much for sharing, Engineer Mohammed. Now talking about the SMS, well, I just want to catch up where we've just left out before the call came in. SMS are here to stay.
Right.
Now, it is definitely, there's a lot of application that can be built on top of SMSs. That's very much is. But don't you see people are really moving away from SMSs now? Especially, I'll go an example again to WhatsApp being an example that is a messaging that people use it a lot. Don't you see it's a threat for mobile operators? Unless, of course, they pull up their socks.
Right. Well, first of all, SMS is extremely profitable. If you look at the percentage of revenue you get by these SMS, be they in bulk or standalone, it's enormous revenue for any operator. Second thing, it has an appeal that it's universal in its nature. When we talk about OTTs, while customization is a good thing, in this regards, not the whole world is using WhatsApp. Yes, the CEO of Facebook, Mark, he's looking forward towards his first billion users on WhatsApp, just like he was looking forward towards the first billion users on Facebook. However, you need to see, this might be surprising, but not everybody is using WhatsApp. There are other platforms which have a huge following. Like, for example, there's one called Kakao Calls.
Okay.
And it has a very strong following where the users are exchanging about 5 billion, that's with B, messages in a day, in addition to games and buying gifts for each other and doing downloads and things of that nature.
What do you say it's called? Kakao?
Yeah.
Oh,
So the thing is, there is no still there is no one dominant global player which can stand up to the SMS. And SMS has this appeal that you don't actually need connectivity to the internet, and you don't need, for example, a data network available, which a lot of us disable when we're traveling. So we have to eventually fall back on SMS.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons that, granted, the OTT messengers, they have a lot of value add-ons. However, SMS is still holding its ground.
Oh, that's very, very interesting. We will get back to continue our discussion on the future of mobile and the trends that it holds. Let us take a quick break, Engineer Mohammed, and revert back with our program.
Right.
Okay, our topic today, ladies and gentlemen, is about the trends and future of mobile technology. What are the trends and where is the future heading as far as mobile technology is concerned? Our guest today is Engineer Mohammed, and he is with us here to share his knowledge on the area and expertise. In fact, you can call us on 24602058 if you have any questions pertaining to our program today, and specifically to the topic, which is the future of mobile and the trends that are expected to be coming up. Engineer Mohammed, we spoke about the OTT players, meaning people like OTT, meaning over the top, and we're talking about the players like Viber, WhatsApp, and all these people, like the Kakao, the one you have shared about. Now, don't these players, aren't they a threat to mobile operators? Let me specifically share the question that I have is this. Now, they do not use specifically, that's my understanding, the infrastructure of the mobile operators, but they use the internet to share their services. Now, if they are doing that, using the internet to share their services, and of course a mobile user who is connected to a mobile operator and through their through the data service will be availing the services of OTT, and OTT are not paying anything to the mobile operators, and these OTT players are eating that revenue. That's in my personal opinion. What do you say about it? Do you feel that is valid, that they're eating the revenue of the mobile operators? And if yes, what's your opinion about what can mobile operators do about it in order, to get back on track or to get their revenue or whatever you think?
Right. Okay, Tariq, I would like to go back a little bit and just give a brief overview of what's taking place in the industry, because a lot of what's happening in connectivity world, be it fixed or mobile or internet, is not happening according to our planning.
Okay, when you say our planning, what do you mean by our?
Our, as in, for example, the people of the field, the operators, the regulators, the service providers.
Okay.
What has happened is the revolution which we see in this field, the common terminology used for it is disruption.
Okay.
Initially, when it hit us, most of the players in the ecosystem were not ready. However, what I have seen lately is that the operators and the OTT players, they are trying to reconcile with disruption and look at the other side of the coin, which is innovation.
Okay.
If you look at it, for example, when we talk about connectivity, and I would not say mobile, because in connectivity you have fixed as well as mobile networks, we have to focus on three major components. First one is services, which is the most prominent. Like, for example, the world has already seen more than 2 billion different apps, if we just talk about mobile domain. And when you go towards IT side, there are countless softwares available out there and new coming up by the minute, if I can say that. The other thing is devices, and we just touched upon that briefly when Shankar just called us. The third part is networks. All right. So these things are basically going in a cycle. The general trends which I have noticed is that things are going from proprietary systems to open standards, okay, from competition to collaboration. right? From disruption to innovation, and from human communication to machine communication, or something we hear now called IoT or Internet of Things,
Okay.
right? And the other part is we are looking at quality of service is being used, or which was being used is being changed by quality of experience. All right. Lately, what I have noticed is that a lot of operators, they are going from competition to collaboration when it comes to OTT.
Okay.
In OTT, as long as you give them a good data connectivity, they can do the job. However, wherever they're using the mobile infrastructure, that belongs to telcos.
Yeah.
Telcos are heavily regulated, while OTTs have basically no regulation. Right? Anybody can get up, write an app sitting in a room and, provide almost everything for free. So definitely it is a revenue drain and a concern for the industry. And that's why you must have noticed that very quickly, in a time frame of, I would say, less than 2 years, you see a lot of operators collaborating with the OTT players.
Okay, so there's some collaboration happening.
Definitely, they have to. There is no other way of surviving, and it can be a win-win situation. I'll share a few examples with you. For example, when you look at operators and OTT, in one scenario, the operator is taking the lead. For example, Tele2, they have decided that soon they will offer data-only packages, and they'll give voice minutes and SMS for free.
Okay.
Okay. And how they're going to generate revenue is they will go for subscription-based insurance and Wi-Fi-based IP telephony. All right. I'll give you another example. Millicom is partnering up with Facebook and now WhatsApp, since they've bought it for 19 billion in Paraguay, to provide data packages that will include the Facebook service.
Okay, but now when you say data packages, are they specific to Facebook and these OTT players like WhatsApp, or are they being generic? Because unless they're specific, then if anyone offers a data package, they're able to connect to any of the OTT players. I mean, to any. So if I'm connected to a mobile network and I've got data, then I can use any of the datas.
Exactly.
The OTT players. But are these going to be specific? What I'm saying specific is only to Facebook accounts?
I hear you. There are both examples. Like, for example, in Tele2, it's an open ecosystem. In terms of Millicom, for example, it's more of Facebook specific.
Okay, that's
nice.
And
even if you listen to the recent announcement by the CEO of Facebook with his new initiative, which is Internet.org, that's the whole idea. He believes that everybody should have at least some kind of basic internet connectivity for free.
Okay.
It's a very ambitious plan, considering he's shelled out a lot of cash, and now they're planning, the CEO of WhatsApp announced that they're going to add voice on their platform, on their iOS, and they're going to add some more Android-based apps as well.
Okay.
So, and they have also said that they will not touch the existing setup in terms of privacy.
Okay.
Okay. And they plan to keep it for free. So it's very interesting. It asks the question, what about the business model?
Okay, I've got this question. I don't believe there's such thing as free lunch, but that's my opinion only. What is your opinion about it when you say Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, saying that they will provide it for free? I think using Facebook today is also free, but do you think, I mean, there's no...
Well, my feeling is, since they had to struggle a little bit to jump into the mobile domain.
Okay.
I don't think they're still making any reasonable money on the mobile version of Facebook.
Okay.
However, my feeling is that they might give you the basic version for free.
Okay.
And then the premium or the exotic version, or with the add-ons, they will start charging you, because they have to survive. I agree with you. There is no such thing as a free lunch. That's what I'm saying. This is particularly a very interesting case. We will have to see maybe by Q3 or Q4 how things are going to fan out in this story.
Yeah. The way I would personally look is looking at back I always like to look at the patterns of any kind of innovation or technology that has been launched. Now, if you look at Facebook, for instance, true, it's free. We're using the service. But it's also they're taking our privacy and information by bringing us advertisements every now and then. In fact, the same thing I see with WhatsApp. You know, WhatsApp might have been a great news. 19 billion. That's what has been bought. Great news for probably Facebook because they've got a lot of users right now. But to be honest, in my opinion, is that I don't think it's a great news for our, users like ourselves. Maybe reason why is you will sooner or later, mark my words, sooner or later start seeing advertisement popping up in your WhatsApp.
Well, see, Tariq, I have one thing to add to this. People at Facebook are very sharp. I don't think they'll flood us with advertisement because keep in mind, when we talk about OTTs, we have a lot of choices and we have zero loyalty. Just look at how many messengers you have got installed right now on your smartphone as a backup. You have the WhatsApp, and then you've got the Viber, and then you've got the TalkRay, and then, I mean, I know people on an average they've got 3, 4. Look at all the hype around Skype initially. That 8 to 10% of the traffic is carried by an operator that doesn't own a mobile license, hasn't paid a penny for a mobile license, is not regulated, doesn't have an infrastructure. But I look at these as limited successes. Okay.
Limited successes meaning when people would like to take advantage by putting advertisements into the applications.
Well, a lot of people will switch.
That's true. I like that.
Really, I mean, unless if you make the advertisements so specific that you really want to see that thing and it's beneficial for you, that kind of works with the earlier thing you said about privacy. Unfortunately, we're giving up our privacy all the time.
Yeah, very true.
And this will be when we talk about big data. Somebody has to tap that data to monetize it.
That's true.
You know.
Big data, by the way, it's a very big it's big word as well. I know a lot of people are talking about. Could you please share a bit about when you say big data so our audience can get a picture about what's a big data? Right.
Well, it's something like we were using the cloud all along. Now it's become more prominent. We've got different versions. You've got the private cloud and the public cloud and the hybrid versions and all that. What's going on is everything around us is and will be creating a lot of data 24/7, starting from your devices. You will be communicating to your house very soon.
Yeah, smart homes.
You will be wearing mobile technology. You will have internet all over your body and some things that I study even inside your body. So the thing is, somebody somewhere needs to tap that data, which includes what you like, what you don't like, where you go, your digital footprint, if you want to call it. And somebody wants to monetize it. Okay.
True.
And big data, it used to be like, for example, you used to do backup of data on these tapes, and if there was a crisis, you would restore them. And then it was like, okay, well, something went wrong. Tell me what happened. And then the next stage was, tell me what's going on right now. And then it was like, okay, tell me what's going on right now, real time, and why it's happening. And now we've reached a stage where I just want the current data to tell me, okay, in future I want this. Tell me, how do I get there? What parameters do I need to adjust? That's when you get into the realm of business intelligence.
Analytics softwares probably.
Right. So this is where big data plays a huge role. And you have to understand, it's not just humans which are generating data. We've got machines which are generating tremendous amount of data 24/7.
And it's very important to see how organizations or players in this world can make use of this big data to probably offer customized
solutions and offerings. Well, there are issues. There are issues about privacy. There's issue about ownership of the data. Who owns the relationship with the customer, and who will regulate it? What will happen when you cross a border? Okay. So there's huge challenges which surround this field. Nevertheless, it's growing with leaps and bounds.
No, definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, number to call in is 24602058. If you have any question pertaining to our subject today, that's 24602058. Engineer Mohammed, what about the WAP? The wireless access protocol, is this being used now by any chance, or what's your feedback about it?
I've heard this from in this show after a very long time, to be honest. what I've seen is I've seen cases where the internet was started to be accessed online through mobile phones, and then we got into these domains of apps.
Okay.
And then we got into companies developing specific, very simple websites which can be accessed through mobiles.
Okay.
And especially you will notice this in terms of airlines and transportations, where it's just point and click.
Okay.
And like I mentioned earlier, that your mobile phone has the payment mechanism, and you can decide instantly. For example, if you want to fly to somewhere, you just go to the website. It's very easy to book a flight, and point and click, very easy to make the payment. You will buy it instantly. So what some companies have seen is that if they have a very simple website which can be accessed from mobile, the sales triple.
Okay, that's amazing. We're going to pick up on the mobile payment. It's an interesting topic. Let me just pick up a call. We have an audio. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Hello?
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me too?
Hello?
Okay, I can't hear you, so it's okay. We'll just have to cut off the call. Ladies and gentlemen, if you call me, please ensure that you switch off the radio. Otherwise, I can't hear you, you can't hear me, we can't have communication. Okay, the number to call in is 24602058 if you have any questions pertaining to our program today. Engineer Muhammad, we said we'll look into...
We'll go back to the OTT part, because I had shared you asked a very interesting question about the revenue drain and them enjoying everything, and are they still butting heads, or they've decided to collaborate?
And you said they are working on collaborating, which is a very, very good one.
So I shared two examples with you. One is for the Tele2 and one is Millicom, where operators are taking the lead and doing something about it. And by the way, you will see this harmony all the way from vendors up to operators, and all the way up to device manufacturers.
What about mobile operators in Oman? Are they doing that?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Maybe there is something underway, because the operators here in Oman, they very closely follow not only what's going on in the region, but also in globally they follow what's going on. So they're very much up to date.
Oh, that's good.
If you just look at the networks that they have put in here, there's the latest and the greatest.
Amazing. Let us just pick up a call again. We have our callers call in. Hello? 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 I can hear someone probably driving a car, but I can't hear the voice. So,
Hello?
yes, hello. Can you hear me? All right, sorry, I have to cut Abdullah Badri house had to cut you off, sorry, because we can't hear. If you call in on 24602058, please ensure that your radio is switched off, otherwise we can't hear you. Engineer Mohammed, talking about the mobile payment.
Right.
Do you see this this as a technology where, probably first, if you could share a bit about how the technology works, the mobile payment, and then also whether do you see this working in Oman as well?
Right. Well, just like when credit cards came initially, a lot of people said they can live without them. There are still people who don't have credit cards. What works in the favor of mobile payments is more people have mobile phones than they have bank accounts. There are more mobile phones than there are toothbrushes on this planet. Okay. We have reached and we have crossed amazing tipping points. The ease of payment is one thing. For example, you can have security is another issue, privacy another issue, but most important that I see is the regulation. Where will be the servers host? What about the for example, here you can say, what about the CBO regulations? What about the telco regulations? What about the regulatory regulations and things of that nature? Technology is already there. It's implemented in a lot of emerging countries, for example, in Philippines, in some countries in Africa, in Pakistan, and the results have been amazing.
Wow.
So this is definitely a game changer, provided the stakeholders play their cards right.
Okay. And you see this happening in Oman as well?
Well, it should. If it's not, I'm sure somebody must be having discussions working towards this strategy, because if it's coming to the region, which it has come in some shape and forms in the neighboring countries, then obviously Oman will have to get on the bandwagon for all the right reasons and not left behind.
Inshallah, inshallah. Now, like credit cards, I know today not many people are using credit cards in Oman. Is that right?
Right.
To purchase things online, and they're worried about probably the security part of it. I personally use that. I don't think that's any problem. But don't you feel that the mobile payment, if introduced in Oman, would have a similar impact?
Well, you see, we are more intimate and personal with our mobiles. Like I said in the beginning, we have it on us all the time. We feel close to it. We, I don't know, take it to bed with us. We take it to bathroom with us. So the thing is, I don't feel there'll be that much of a resistance. You have to look at the ease that you're providing to someone. For example, transfer of money, going out somewhere to an outlet and then standing in line and then paying the cash and signing the papers, as opposed to point and click on your mobile. So it's a no-brainer. And the other part is how much fee you will charge for it. In credit cards, one of the big challenge was the process of application.
Yeah.
There were huge rejections. There were requirements. Where do you work? What's your monthly salary? You have to sign this form. You have to go to the outlet. You have to wait for the card to come in the mail. You know the whole process, yeah?
Yeah.
So the thing is, I'll share an interesting point with you. In Korea, when you apply for a credit card, they ask you, do you need plastic with it? And you're like, what do you mean? It's, they say if you're traveling overseas, you need a credit card. But within Korea, your mobile is your credit card. Okay?
Yeah.
So they have made the concept so simple, you don't even need plastic anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if similar or better strategies followed here, everybody's got a mobile in their pocket.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
They might not have a bank account, but they have a mobile.
Yeah.
And they have done these projects where, for example, in Afghanistan, the soldiers, they get their salaries on their mobiles.
Wow.
So when we look at how the emerging markets are leapfrogging, I think it's not unthinkable that it will happen here. I'm sure it will happen here. It's just a matter of when it will happen and in what form or what stages it will be released to the general audience.
Inshallah. Before we end our program for today, because we've got a lot to discuss about, and inshallah future programs will have that as well. I've got a question, Engineer Muhammad, is now mobile phones started with legacy and then they jumped to being smartphones.
Right.
Where do you see the future is?
Well, they'll be more towards wearables.
Wearable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they'll be more towards your personal assistants.
Wow. Okay.
And on a major scale, I would mention briefly Watson, which is the brainchild of IBM.
Watson, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's something you can think of as an advanced search engine which learns from you based on AI. So
that's
it would
artificial
be,
intelligence, AI.
Yeah. So I feel that your phone will communicate with you in a more intelligent way, in a more personal way, or like I call it, in a more scary way.
Okay.
And it will learn from you.
And we see that now from the Siri, the application that is inbuilt into...
That's just the beginning.
Yeah, that's just the beginning.
Yeah.
So we see that happening, that you're talking to this application, where you want to go, how are you, and it does respond to you.
Right. In general, the technology interfaces are changing. For example, it's not a silly idea to think that one day we won't have keyboards. Okay,
Wow.
mouse would be gone.
Yeah.
Okay, and we are going more towards sensors and eye movements and things of that nature. And as we see more and more sensors in devices and in our homes and in our cars and offices, where we work, play, and rest, your relationship with your device will change. There will be more and more intelligence, more processing power, longer battery life, and a cheaper price tag.
Wow. That's amazing. Talking about wearable technologies, I know that Google is working on a smart glass.
Yeah, Google Glass, there have been prototypes. They've put a lot of effort behind it. It has met a lackluster response, and the primary issue is privacy. I've heard about one case where a lady was wearing Google Glass in a restaurant, and a couple of people just jumped on her. There are still
But what do you mean by what happened? I mean, wearing a smart glass and someone jumped. I mean, I didn't get it. What happened exactly?
Well, she was at a restaurant and people realized that she was recording.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is actually very impolite, but it's the same thing like if five of us were sitting, let's say 10 years back or 5 years back, and if I got a mobile call, I would say, excuse me, can I take this call? Now we don't even think about it.
Yeah.
So the Google Glass is having limited success right now. There are scientists working on contact lenses where the whole internet would be in your contact lens.
Okay.
This is not science fiction. This is actually happening in the world of physics. However, when we come towards wearable things we can see, feel, touch, you'll see a lot of bands coming out. Okay, bands which will communicate to your devices through the Bluetooth technology. Okay, they'll be the cheaper side of the house, and they will use the processing power of your mobile.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And there'll be colors in different colors. They'll be more fashion oriented. There'll be a quick pickup, uptake of customers, and they're starting right now more from the health and fitness perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Engineer Mohammed, thank you very much for joining us today on Oman Radio FM 90.4 to share with us about the latest trends
My pleasure.
of mobile technology. I would like to take this opportunity to wish you the very best and success in all you do, and inshallah we will have you for future programs as well.
Looking forward to it.
share us your wealth of knowledge,
Definitely.
Engineer Mohammed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's something that I would like to share with you. Microsoft has in fact announced starting from today that Windows XP will no longer be supported. And what am I talking about? That is that the Windows XP has been there for the past 13 years. In fact, it was launched sometime in mid of 2001. And every now and then Microsoft are sending updates to your computer. So basically the notification that you get it on your Windows Vista or Windows 7 or 8 that says, all right, it's time to update your computer. Those are updates that Microsoft are sending into your computer in order for you to apply, in order to ensure that your operating system is updated. But for those who are using Windows XP, be it people who are using it at home or people who are using professionally in an organization, be very careful. Why? Because Microsoft officially has announced today, in fact, that they will no longer be supporting these operating system. And I know a number of banks in Oman are using them, but again, it's only when you are connected on the internet that is when you can be impacted. And the advice, of course, is to, of course, migrate or upgrade your operating system to the newer version, be it Windows Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, or 8.1, which was just released now. I think that's the best thing that you could do. And before you do that, for an old operating system like the Windows XP, my advice is you take a backup. I know that the newer version of the Microsoft Windows does allow you to upgrade from Windows XP to the newer version, but my advice is take a backup of your important data first and then do the upgrade. If it doesn't work, of course you have your backup data in place. You can just install the new operating system and download your important data, but probably not the applications, because you'll need to update the application. This is serious indeed. You know why? Is because hackers, intruders will be looking after you, and especially if you're connected to the internet. Even the newer version of Windows like 7 and 8, when people find flaws in them, of course Microsoft will be releasing the updates, but you know what the hackers will do? The first thing they're gonna say is, let's go and look for the Windows XP users, let's go and hack them, let's go and attack them. So piece of advice, ladies and gentlemen, is ensure you are upgrading your operating system. And if you don't upgrade, then don't be connected on the internet, especially if your operating system has any flaws or buggy, and that you wouldn't know normally. But you know who is going to know? The hackers and the mischief users. We have reached to the end of our program for this week. I hope you all had an intriguing time with us. If you have any interesting topic, feedback, or comment that you wish to share, please write to me an email by visiting my site www.tariq.net. That's TARIQ.net. I'll be pleased to hear from you. Let us catch up again next week on Tuesday, same time at 5:30 p.m. for a knowledge session. I'm Tariq Al-Barwani along with our studio engineer DJ Al-Badri, wishing you all a happy and a pleasant weekend. Ma'as salama.